A bill that would broaden the definition of anti-Semitism is stalled in Congress as members debate its free speech implications. Republicans are trying to push the Antisemitism Awareness Act through Congress for the second year in a row, but they have even less momentum this time around because the college protests that fueled support are over. Supporters of the bill say it's necessary to protect the civil rights of Jewish students after protests on college campuses in 2024 went beyond free speech. Senator Bill Cassidy said the abuse dealt to Jewish students shouldn't be protected under the First Amendment.
Chasing Jewish students into a room, pounding on the door, and threatening them with violence is wrong. That is not free speech. Preventing a student from going to class, any student, because of their religion or ethnicity is wrong. That is not free speech. That is harassment and intimidation and should not be tolerated.
Opponents of the bill say it's too broad and that it would criminalize speech that criticizes Israel's government or its policies, even if the criticisms aren't religious in nature.
One can criticize the government of Israel, government of any country on earth for their policies, and that does not make one anti-Semitic or hateful of the people in any of those countries. It goes without saying that people in the United States of America have the right to criticize any government on earth for their policies.
The bill codifies the definition of anti-Semitism as adopted by the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance in 2016. It states, anti-Semitism is a certain perception of Jews which may be expressed as hatred toward Jews. Rhetorical and physical manifestations of anti-Semitism are directed toward Jewish or non-Jewish individuals and/or their property, toward Jewish community institutions and religious facilities. Opponents, like Republican Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky, say that definition would criminalize speech that has historically been protected.
In fact, if you look at Brandenburg versus Ohio, the operative case on First Amendment, every one of these things, the First Amendment isn't about protecting good speech. It protects even the most despicable and vile speech. Brandenburg was a Nazi and an anti-Semite, and he said horrible things. And the First Amendment, the Constitution, the Supreme Court ruled that you can say terrible things. That's unique about our country.
The bill also adopts the examples of anti-Semitism as provided by the IHRA as the official legal guidance for prosecution under the Civil Rights Act. Those examples include drawing comparisons of contemporary Israeli policy to that of the Nazis, denying the Jewish people their right to self-determination, for example, claiming that the existence of a state of Israel is a racist endeavor, and holding Jews collectively responsible for actions of the state of Israel.
It is not anti-Semitic to speak out against the extremist Israeli government for not allowing a single shipment of aid into Gaza in over 2 months.
In May 2024, the bill passed the House with strong bipartisan support in the wake of pro-Palestinian protests at college campuses around the country.
I believe deeply in speech and free speech, but I also believe that it's really important that all students feel safe and that students aren't threatened and with violence. And that's been the problem in a lot of these campuses right now, is that students that I've met with don't feel safe.
It was not approved by the Senate, which at the time was controlled by Democrats and then Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. This time around, it stalled in the Senate again, although the chamber is now controlled by Republicans. In the House, multiple Democrats who supported it last year say they won't vote for it again. I'm Ray Bogan for Straight Arrow News. For more reporting, download the SAN app.